Is it cool if I drink coffee during this?
Ah, yeah, I think that's fine.
That can be the intro. What's up, guys? My name's Cherno. Welcome back to more Cherno, where we look at stuff that I haven't seen before, and I give my thoughts on it. And today we're going to be looking at the Unreal Engine 5 Matrix demo that I still, believe it or not, have not seen. I've seen, like, parts of it, maybe, but I've never sat down and watched the entire thing. And I've deliberately, like, avoided thinking about it too long, so that I could save my thoughts for this video that I knew we would one day make. So we did it, guys. We are here. We're here. Violence is on the screen. Let's get into it. And the video will be linked in the description if you want to watch it. I feel like everyone's seen this now. By the way, you guys watching, always tell Tim here to pick something that's like relevant, you know, but here we are. Well, when was this released?
I have no idea.
Like years ago.
A long time ago.
Sometime last year, probably. Anyway, let's just get on with it.
Alright.
Captured in real time on both consoles. Does it include this?
Probably not. Oh, maybe.
I like how that Unreal Engine logo has like fingerprints on it, just to show off a little bit of like how the reflection works. Gotta have those imperfections. I want to know if these intros are made in Unreal Engine and if they're rendered live as well. I guess this stuff is, right?
Yeah, this stuff.
Hi.
This
I'm
is...
Alexander. Like many of you, I work with computers.
Is this not footage?
I like the freedom I feel outside the limitations of the real world. But computers are also mirrors, reflecting back who and what we are.
That's real
and
footage,
choices
right?
we make.
This is not.
The worlds
Oh.
we
No,
build.
this is engine footage.
About
Damn,
why
that
we
is
want to
good.
choose this or that. Why we want to make X instead of Y. Where do ideas of who we are and what we want even come from?
You take the red pill, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
This isn't real.
What is real?
How do you define real?
For instance, I'm not even sure why I'm here. I remember waking up and thinking that I'm supposed to come here. That it was important for me to ask people, how do we know what is real?
Oh, the eyes are a bit,
Hi,
you know,
I'm Keanu Reeves.
rusty.
Over 20 years ago, I first played the character Thomas Anderson in the Matrix trilogy. Those films pioneered digital cinema with shots like bullet time. Back then, we talked a lot about where the digital age might take cinema and narrative. In an industry where actors have tried to remain perpetually young, we wondered about digital faces that could become immortal.
Hi, I'm Carrie Ann Moss, and I played Trinity in the Matrix films. 20 years ago, we asked ourselves how long it would be before faces and bodies could be changed as easily as we change clothes.
We wondered, what would identity mean in a completely digital world?
And what would reality mean when a world we can build feels as real as our own?
Physics is not great.
What they wanted. They said they were fine with your theoretical mumbo-jumbo.
They've got like film grain or something on the characters. That's helping a lot. I don't know if that's like some kind of noise from the actual algorithms, or if that's deliberate post-processing film grain.
I thought we were supposed to have total creative control.
Welcome to the Matrix.
You still got it.
Like riding a bike, they say.
I sometimes miss this version of us.
Me too.
The hell are you doing back there?
This just looks like a video game now. This is like, I don't know, man. Like, so far, I haven't said much, but so far, it's so weird. It's like some scenes and some objects look so realistic. Literally looks like real life. And then some of it just looks like garbage. Like, I don't know what it is. And relative garbage, right? So not just objectively absolute kind of garbage, but like relative to what the other stuff is that we've seen.
Right.
It kind of looks like garbage. I don't know, like, I'm assuming they put, look at that spark effect. I'm assuming they put like way more effort into the main characters and the primary actors. Obviously, you'd imagine that they would have to be flawless, like textures, flawless, everything.
Yeah.
And also, if this is rendered in real time, which I think it is, right? Then clearly the frames budget would be reserved for the primary characters as well, and they would be rendered in a much higher quality than all of the people in the background, like these no-name police officers and stuff.
Yeah.
So that could be another thing. Okay, first of all, let's go back a little bit, because this video is like 10 minutes long, so I might just talk about what we've seen so far. This stuff was phenomenal. The only thing that broke it for me, personally, was his eyes. I don't know if it was like the lack of reflections in the eyes or the lack of light. Because see, first of all, the eyes look dead, right? So one thing they do a lot in films is they actually set up a light to get that specular reflection in the actor's eye. To indicate that they're alive, like literally. Because when your brain looks at this and you see the black pupil and no lights, I mean, there's very slight reflection of what looks like a white box or something here. But other than that, the eyes just look dead.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they had just set up a little light or faked a specular reflection or something in the eye, that would probably make it better. But like the skin, the hair, the lighting around there, the beard, that just looks phenomenal. I mean, here we start to degrade a little bit. I don't know what it is, but it just looks maybe just the way the ambient occlusion is here is a bit too harsh or something. But his, like, in general, of course, this is very, very, very well done.
And that's why you couldn't really tell, is this real life? Is this
Yeah,
footage?
no, my first instinct was
yeah.
this is real.
Yeah.
My first instinct is this is footage. Maybe they'll switch to CG later. But like the thing is, the interesting thing about this is, again, I don't know if you haven't told me. Is this actually rendered in real time?
That's
you
what they said at the start of the video.
Okay. Because there was a moment there where you were like, but I was gonna say that this looks good for non-real time rendering, right? Like this looks really, really good.
Yep.
I mean, it almost looks like a deep fake or something. The other thing is, when you hit play, there's actually like, I don't know if it's just this video, but there's a phenomenal amount of film grain, like on them. And the thing is, you know, movies obviously The Matrix, I don't really know, but I'm sure it was shot on film. There's
Wait,
no
hold
way.
up. You haven't seen The Matrix?
No, I have seen The Matrix.
Okay.
I just don't know if it's shot on
right,
film
yeah,
or digitally.
Yeah.
I'm sure that it's, what year is it? Like 1999?
1999, I think. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. So they would have definitely used film back then.
Yep.
And so therefore this kind of film look, you know, the grain, that I think is helping a lot.
We know what is real.
And it's also like almost like a form of dithering as well. That's just making everything blend together a little bit better.
I'm Keanu Reeves.
But yeah, like obviously this is
Over 20.
extremely impressive. And if it's running in real time on a PS5 and Xbox 360, which is Xbox
Xbox
360,
Series X.
Xbox Series X, then yeah, then it's
Years.
great.
It
I mean,
is
there's
real
very
time.
little going on in this scene. It's literally on a white background, but still, like, it
20
looks
years
incredible.
Ago, I first played the character Thomas Anderson.
Like, yeah, imagine the models.
Which 20 years
Yeah, and
ago,
the
I
textures
first
and stuff. I mean, you can see how dry his lips look. Like, it's just all very, very realistic.
Thomas Anderson, Matrix trilogy. Those films pioneered
So yeah, so that scene in general was fantastic. The only thing was the eyes. And then obviously when they kind of went into here, you can definitely see the amount of effort that was put into her compared to other characters that look like the
Right.
Sims. You know? And then also I'm sure that when you have this many of them and they're further away, the quality also drops. I mean, that's just a fact of real-time rendering in general, that like the further you are from the camera, the more your shader budget kind of drops, because it's just less pixels.
Yep.
You know, and like the contribution to the scene is way less. So in general, shader complexity can drop as you get further away. Although in many cases it doesn't need to, just because it naturally drops off because there are less pixels to process. But yeah, you can tell by the other characters, they look like this looks like The Sims 4 you know, or whatever the
Exactly,
latest
yeah,
Sims
yeah,
game is compared to what we just saw when she was the only one in frame and close up. Right? So to be honest, this to me is not that impressive. And like, also the way she walked, the animation of her walking was so bad. Like, I don't know what's up with that, to be honest. Like, look at her walking. Why is she holding her arms? Why are they not, like, touching up her body? Or, like, why are they just, like...
Oh, just dangling.
Why is she,
about.
like... You know? Like, what is this? Who walks like this? Like, that's... I don't know why they did it that way. Or, like... And I mean, if this was motion captured and it was like completely actually how she walked, I feel like as the director of this scene, I would have been like, no. Walk normally.
Walk differently. Yeah.
Like walk in a way that seems, because that's the other thing, right? Like when you're at this level and you're trying to make stuff look realistic, sometimes literally real life can look unrealistic. That happens in cinema all the time. Stuff looks like CG or whatever, but it's real. It's just that, you know, certain things in the real world that are captured with cameras can also look fake.
Yeah.
So this is one of those examples where, like, hey guys, we're trying to make something that looks real, so I'm sorry, like, you're gonna have to walk better. Yeah, well, this stuff, like, the background's just all motion blurry and grainy. But in general, yeah, the city looks fantastic. Not that this is particularly hard to do, to be completely honest. We have non-dynamic lighting. You know, I'm talking about like the buildings and stuff. That's fairly easy to do well. You know, if you have the texture, if you have the GPU like VRAM capacity to have really high resolution textures, then you can literally just bake all your lighting as if you were making a Pixar movie or actual offline CG, and that's it. There's your photorealism done. Yep. Right? And then obviously you spend your time calculating lighting and shadows and environment kind of ambient light or indirect light on the actual subjects that are dynamic and moving. Also, this car flip animation, man, like that reminds me of Need for Speed No Limits. Which in which, by the way, we deliberately made the physics ridiculous, because the designers of that game decided that it would be the gameplay would be better if the cars would just get the hell out of your way when you crash into them. So instead of being like kind of realistic, it's like you crash into a car in that game and then the car just goes like it just flies off into the unknown. Because it's like, you know, just get out. You know, I'm playing Need for Speed. I want to
drive.
I don't want this thing in the way, yeah.
What they wanted. They said they were fine with your...
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this scene. This scene is very hard to light, though. You know, an indoor kind of car scene with, for some reason, not a single light or anything. The car is just a black silhouette at this point.
Yeah.
That is just a lighting challenge in general, and so...
Welcome to the Matrix.
I don't know, like,
In
that's
real
difficult.
time, that's a lighting challenge, right?
Oh, well, in general, even in film, like, to light a scene like that is challenging.
But in film, there would be indirect lighting that's lighting
Well,
up
yeah,
the car,
but like,
for example.
but you know, because that would most likely be filmed in front of a green screen,
Right.
and then so like, how do you light the inside of the car? You know, I mean, a lot of the times they have lights that just go past, especially if it's like a night scene, and they just like run lights past the car to feel it. It's a difficult thing to do. I like this little purposeful kind of like, hey guys, look, we have reflections. And the bus was there, by the way, in the reflection, and there's some more reflections here. Explosion. I mean, that explosion didn't look good to me. I don't know if it necessarily didn't look realistic, but it just went away too quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, you need that Michael
It
Bay
faded,
explosion
yeah.
effect, you know? You need it to just be over the top.
Michael Bay presents Explosions!
You still got it.
Like riding a bike, they say.
Alright, let's get past this. We've seen this.
Shoot the tires. Say no more.
Shoot the tires, say no more. That's funny. Yeah, so this is beginning to look a bit more arcadey.
Keep them off us.
Oh, what is that animation? What? What is that? Did you see that?
Which part of
The car!
Oh.
What
Still
the
flipping
heck?
over, yeah.
No, just going like... I think you missed it again. I'll go back one more time. The cop car that's doing the flipping. Did you see that? That's absurd. It's like... That one was a bit better. Yeah, that one was a bit kind of... Oh no. Touch this. I'll tell you what this reminds me of right now. There was I don't know exactly what it was, but it was kind of like a photorealistic graphics mod for GTA 4
Okay.
with Nico Bellic.
Nico Bellic.
Nico Bellic.
That is what this kind of looks like to me. Like, obviously it looks better, right? If we put the frames side by side, it looks better. But it reminds me of that. It's just a kind of like dark, contrasty, maybe like kind of aesthetic, and obviously the actual what's going on, the action, right? Kind of reminds me of that photorealistic graphics mod for GTA 4, which actually looks very good now that I think about it. Like, it looks great. I'm sure that if I brought it up now and compared it to this, I'd be like, okay, it doesn't look good. But it, in my memory,
Yep.
it looks fantastic. What is... that other guy who jumped that's just like...
Just gone out of the...
Look at him. He's just like flying in like a T-pose.
Did you see the other guy on the right side?
Then they've all got the same pose before they jump. Oh, that guy.
No, wait. Look at the other guy.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
He's just gone to the
Nah, I
stratosphere.
like this guy. He's like almost in a T-pose.
Trinity? They're on the car. Who's the roof? My pleasure. Sorry, boys.
Damn.
Of course they have a helicopter.
Oh, chopper. Oh, whoa, that fire effect though. No, and the explosion effect. Man, that looks like, no one's gonna get this probably reference, and you're not either, but that looks like me playing around with Fume Effects, which was like a fire plugin for like 3D Studio Max. I used it in like 20 years ago, probably more like 15 years ago. Why are they just flashing white, man? Like, I get the spark effect, but dude. Yeah, look at that. It's gone white. I don't know. That is... I'm sorry, bro. This is too much light from a muzzle flash. This is like me in 2009 in After Effects doing muzzle flashes by like masking out areas of the footage for one frame and then adjustment layer, curves, you know, all the way up, which also no one's gonna get. Well, no, people might. If you do,
But
leave a
no,
comment.
well, I mean, like,
I'll love
the
that
process
comment.
that you just described, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, but dude, that is just, like, that's just a comical amount of light. Like, look at this. This is what I mean. This is like, that's a cool shot, actually. But in general, the vibe that I'm getting, again, overall this looks fantastic. Don't let me take anything away from this. But the vibe I'm getting is that two teams worked on this. There were the senior, like, engineers and, like, artists, and then there were the interns. And then they collaborated on this. And that reminds me of GTA, where it just lit on fire and immediately swerved out. I don't know, I mean, this is clearly meant to be an action game. Like, it's not just like, it's not like a movie, I don't think. Whoa. Now see, that's a nice explosion that lingered. Don't mind the empty streets in the background. Focus on the shooting. This just looks like so generic. Just not, there's no cars traveling here. There's just like the buildings all look the same. And it's just like, don't worry about the streets, guys. Just focus your attention there. Which is fair enough. Like that's what you do, obviously. You don't have
But
infinite
it's
frame
also
budget.
in the Matrix, you know.
Oh well, yeah. No, that's true. I guess the
The
setting's
meta
important.
of it justifies it.
That's a good excuse.
Yeah.
But this is generated. Whoa. Hold your horses. What is this? What are these 64 by 64 resolution textures? Look at this. I mean, yes, it's very far, and for some reason the fog isn't working for this shot. But like, damn, that is some look. And look at the. Do you know what that looks like? That to me almost looks like nanite when it's like lowest LOD, please. And by lowest LOD I mean like, you know, far away, you know, because it's not really a LOD system, but same kind of result, right? This is the lowest LOD when nanite's like, yeah, just like, you know, make the meshes look a bit fluid, and like, this is what they end up coming out as, and it's just far away, and that's why this all looks like it's like, you know, as if it's got like some kind of smoothing effect on it, basically, and it's just far away. But that's rough. That is the difference between real-time rendering and offline rendering in 2022. You still can't get every pixel like an hour of time devoted to it. Oh, Andrew Kramer's bullet tutorial right there.
Hey, what's up? Andrew Kramer here.
I mean, to be fair, that was obviously originally from The Matrix. I'm just in a visual effects mood. Visual effects tutorial mood today. Yeah, no, overall it looks amazing. Like, yeah, it looks great. It's just fun to criticize and, you know. It's fun to criticize and then inspire people to leave comments being like, oh, well, Hazel doesn't look like that, and then that way we have more work to do. We're just digging a grave into like work, basically, to be like, okay, let's fine, we'll add some more graphics features to Hazel. No,
Apparently it wasn't complete.
But yeah, looks amazing. You guys don't need me to tell you that. A few kind of hits and misses here and there, mostly to do with just like, I mean, you know, considering that this is real time on like a PS5 and Xbox Series X, of course it's amazing. Like, I don't think anyone's doubting that. But in general, you know, have we achieved offline graphics fidelity? No. And it's probably going to be a while until we can do that, just because, like, I don't realistically think I don't know if we ever will, just because when you have the luxury of several hours to compute a single frame, then you can do ridiculous lighting simulations and stuff that like will really contribute 1% extra quality, but take 50 minutes or whatever to work out, right? But there's just like, it's kind of like, if you have that luxury and you can actually do that, then how could a budget of 16 or 33 milliseconds for a frame compete with that? No matter how good the tech is. More time will always equal more quality, ultimately. You know, obviously it's kind of like a logarithmic graph, and there's an asymptote, and, you know, it's not like a exponential or linear proportion kind of work or time you put in versus quality out. Of course, it's not like that, but in general, yeah, you will get better quality if you spend more time doing stuff, because the computer has more time to compute stuff, and that's what computers do. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will see you guys in the next video. If you have any suggestions for what you want me to look at next, leave it in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Matrix demo. Is it overhyped, or is it the best looking thing ever? Leave the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.